imagine that having a camera in front of you make it easier to find things. So, there's two things I want to talk about before we get the games. We're gonna be playing some Soul Calibur, but there's two things I want to talk about. I want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone who sent me some money because I e-begged. Appreciate you guys. Because the joystick, where it is, under somewhere. The joystick on this arcade stick here went out, stopped working, no go, totally unusable. It's missing parts is why it was so bad. So we salvaged the good parts like the silent micro switches and silent gate, and we put it into our lovely Nagoriyuki Razor Pantera Evo, which this is a modding nightmare. Fuck this stick. If you're like looking into getting an arcade stick, don't fucking get this. This stick, if you want to mod your shit, is a piece of fucking shit. This stick is horrible. If you're just in it for everything that's on it except the artwork is easy enough to take off. So we took the silent joystick parts that were still functional off of the E2 here, and we put them onto the Nagoriyuki Razor Pantera Evo. Now, because I can use this stick on PS4 because I have a Brooks converter and PC. My other two sticks, my PC gets real wonky with. So what happens is sometimes we can use them for PC and sometimes can't. These may look like standard Stonewall parts, but they are not. This is an old stick with new tricks. I'm going to show you guys pop the hood on this bad boy. That already looks different, huh? If you know anything about the inside of an arcade stick, standard Sanwas use a 5-pin connector. And this thing actually connects to a 5-pin connector harness down here. This is a Seimitsu silent joystick. One that I've never seen a review on, but is seen on Arcade Shop's website. So I decided I'm gonna buy one because I like silent joysticks and I'm gonna give it a try. Before I close this, there is another new thing. Pardon me. Move my microphone over just a little bit, right? There's another new thing in here. These buttons, I don't know if you can read that. Let's get a little bit closer. Those say gravity. For anyone who doesn't know, Qanba now makes their own buttons, right? I don't know if they're gonna end up on the next generation of fight sticks or if they're not, but they are called the Qanba Gravities. Everyone I watch reviews on for arcade sticks and buttons and joysticks, I haven't seen really very many reviews on these buttons. I should probably get out of this so that I'm not hitting buttons that are, you know what? I'm a genius. There we go. So I'm not hitting buttons that are causing things. I'm gonna unplug the stick. These buttons are very, I won't say fluffy. They're very springy compared to Sanwa buttons, and the sound profile is very different. Take a look. You hear this? Let's get real close to the microphone, shall we? And that is pre-silencing pad. There's silencing pads. I wanted to try them without them first. And let's get like a more standard Sanwa sound. These are Razor's mechanical buttons, but they rival. They're almost exactly the same, just a little, they return to neutral a little quicker, but these are essentially Sanwa stock buttons, right? This is what they would sound like. Right, and then, for reference, because I still have my old Sanwa buttons in here, they do have silencing pads on them. So this is the sound of a Sanwa silent button. There's like a foam pad in here, so it makes it awkward bottoming out. It feels very mushy, bottoming out, almost like a membrane button, right? But they're significantly more quiet. I think that the Qanba Gravities are going to be even more quiet once they get the pad, because listen to this. It's not very loud, right? We are now using, for the first time ever, a Seimitsu lever. I've never used a Seimitsu lever, ever. Didn't even know that Seimitsu's levers were different inherently because they're both Japanese style levers. I assumed that they were going to be, oh, hey, what's up, Peter? That they were going to be on a 5-pin connector, just like Sanwa levers, right? But they're not, and we needed this weird conversion thing. I think I've already showed you guys. Let's. For a standard Sanwa lever, all you need is this down here. I can pull that out. All you need is this, a 5-pin harness, because this 5-pin harness connects directly into the side of the joystick, right? But here, we needed a weird 5-pin conversion kit. It's not that weird. Makes sense. We need a 5-pin conversion kit with grounds to register all the buttons. And I will say that I'm actually very surprised with myself because I wired up all the buttons right. There wasn't an instruction manual or anything with the joystick. There was no way for me to know which directions were which. I just kind of guessed right because there's 4 pins. There's 8 pins on the joystick. So this is, I guess, a little mini review. On the joystick, there's 8 pins, and there's a main and a ground for every single pin, right? A power and a ground. I think that's what they'd be called. And those pins correspond to a specific micro switch direction. So if you are looking to pick up one of these joysticks, we'll show you guys the sound or lack thereof sound of it here in a second. You're going to need to know that you're going to need a 5-pin. I think it's a 5-pin connector to 0.187 connector. I think Focus Attack and Arcade Shock is going to offer to put them in the basket for you as soon as you buy one of these, because most people do play on Japanese arcade sticks, right? So let's go ahead and hear the sound of a standard Samba lever. My little Commodore. This has a standard. This actually has a Samba lever and Samba buttons. These are silent Sambas. Hear that, right? And this is a standard Samba lever. I haven't got around to buying a new silent joystick. They're like $80, and I'm poor, so. Kind of clicky, right? When you compare it to this. So comparing it to that, you can't hear anything, right? My mic's not even picking it up. And I have my sound gate pretty low, right? I think I could like take off all the filters or whatever just to show the true sound of it. But it's completely quiet compared to a standard Sono or Seimitsu lever. Even Seimitsu levers are very clicky. They're like click, 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 because the micro switches, when you hit them, they make a sound. And then also you slamming into the gate makes a sound, right? So if you're not slamming into your gate, this thing is relatively quiet compared to other joysticks. I like it. I'm excited. I can't say that I know if the parts are super duper good or anything yet, but just from the feel of the buttons, I'm almost certain that these buttons are going to be a treat. So we're going to go ahead and give it a little test before we get into the next topic. So I should be able to open window capture 2. Everything feels relatively normal. Let's make this a little bigger, right? I don't want to be the focus. Let's make this a little bigger. Bring it down here. Oh, it feels nice. The buttons are more flat than they are round, which is interesting. Let's try one of the difficult combos, right? Let's go with let's go with one of the difficult combos. Ooh, I missed. I think that was me. The buttons are definitely just as responsive. Definitely just as responsive. I like, it feels like there's more surface area because they're more flat than they are convex, right? It feels like they have a little more like room for you to put your fingers, right? Oh God, I suck. Strict timing for that. That's exactly why I said this is one of the tough combos. Damn. I guess maybe it doesn't work on Yoshi. I guess we should do the simpler combo. Oops. Yeah, wow, I really suck. I'm gonna have to get used to these parts, but I do think that they're pretty good. I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with them. I was late. There we go. Half-life, or almost half-life. Nice. Let's try. Yeah, all right, cool. I like them. And that's because they actuate really quick. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold my stick up at the. Yeah, I can, which is perfect, right? So this is A. Now, of course, there's a little bit of delay because of the fact that we're on a capture device, right? We're using a capture software of some kind, remote play to be exact. But because of that, it's not going to show the exact timing. But it feels really smooth. It doesn't feel like these put you at any sort of like a disadvantage compared to Sanwa's or crown buttons, which are like the norm. These buttons, for as like cheap as they are, right? They really feel like they rival gamer fingers. Gamer finger buttons are significantly more expensive than this, and these kind of feel like gamer fingers. Oh wow, I suck. Ooh. I wish I could stop being bad. Hey, all right, we finally got it. 129, half-life right there. That was a little over half-life. I believe 250 is full health. That's so a little over half. These buttons feel great. The joystick not making too much noise, just the way I like it. It looks like it's using a standard square gate. Ooh, I don't know, yeah, it looks like it's using a square style gate, like most other Japanese arcade sticks. That's pretty sick. I'm pretty excited to test this thing out. If you guys liked the little video we're doing here, right? Because this is definitely going straight onto the YouTubes, right? If I'm being quite honest, this is gonna go on the YouTubes because I haven't seen anyone really cover this joystick, right? Or these buttons really. So I'm gonna go ahead and put out my own little mini review. I'm not like a reviewer, I'm more of like a hands-on kind of guy. But it's really sick that there's so many different new buttons coming out, right? There was the gamer fingers, now there's the Razer's mechanical buttons. Hopefully Razer starts selling their buttons separately from their arcade sticks. That'd be cool, right? Because there's a lot of great buttons out there that aren't Sanwa and Crown, right? Crown, Seimitsu, whatever you want to call it. But those buttons get so much more coverage. A new Sanwa style button comes out, coverage. A new Crown style button comes out, coverage. But there's no coverage for like these new buttons like the gravities and offbeat joysticks like a Seimitsu silent joystick. I haven't seen a single review or a single video covering this joystick. And apparently it's been out for a few years already. I've seen videos on the silent Sanwa joystick, but never the silent Seimitsu joystick. And it's so odd because Seimitsu's right up there with, you know, Seimitsu, Sanwa, Ori for like the 3 most used Japanese arcade stick brands. So anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish. For YouTube at least, signing out. This video's live on YouTube. I'm probably streaming. If I'm not, drop a follow and hit the notification so that you'll see that I'm streaming and come through. You know, my favorite part actually about ordering arcade stick parts is you get these 6 stickers. I'll be quite honest. They always send you some 6 stickers, and I don't think I've ever used them.